Katie and welcome back to From My Vanity, and welcome to a bit of a different video. I feel like I say that a lot, but just welcome to a different type of video from me. I have gotten some requests recently talking about products that I've reviewed in the past, I've said I've loved, but I've never really shown them a whole lot, specifically thinking about like the Vamp Stamp and what was a couple other things. I feel like the Vamp Stamp is the one that I get the most questions on, but also like what do I use for my eyeshadow primer? What do I use for my concealer? Those are things I kind of say in passing or I don't mention at all when I'm doing tutorials and whatnot, but I still, like these are products I still use daily, every day. I rarely switch them up. Like I always go back to my tried and true favorites, but I don't always share with you guys very frequently what those are. So I figured I could make it into one whole video here today and demo the products that I am thinking of. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that I have written down that I use daily or almost daily, weekly, whatever you want to call it, but I don't talk about it very frequently on my channel, but I still want to share them with you because I love them. I'm using them every day and I highly recommend them. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to do it as a demo as I do my makeup. So I'm not going to be showing you guys like my entire kind of makeup, this whole makeup look that I'm going to be doing, but I will just kind of pop in and out for the different parts that apply to products that I use every day, but don't show you guys very frequently. So I hope that makes sense. Let's just go ahead and hop right into it. First off, I almost forgot this, but this is something I really do right before I start my makeup is I put on some type of lip oil. My favorite is the Butter London Sheer Wisdom Lush Lip Oils. I've gone through so many of these. I just pulled out my last backup and I totally plan to repurchase when this is done. But yeah, these are just like a very lightly tinted oil. This is in the shade specifically Dusty Mauve. If I don't feel like wearing a lipstick, if I'm in a hurry, if my lips are bad, this is often all I'll put on before I leave my makeup table. And this is like all I'll have on my lips. They feel really nice on my lips. They're not sticky. They last really nicely. They just help my lips, even though if they're dry and feeling very shriveled, they still just make it feel nice when you rub your lips together, and they kind of act as a barrier. And it's just kind of like a nice step to do before I do my makeup and sit down and do my makeup. That way they just have time to kind of nourish them before I finish my makeup and then put my lipstick on for the day. They just have time to soak in, and it's just something I literally always do, but I rarely ever mention. And no joke, I have a couple different types of lip balms. This one's from Clarins, but honestly I go to the Butter London Sheer Wisdom Lush Lip Oil mainly every day. 9 times out of 10 I put this on. Okay, now moving on to my eyeshadow primer. I'm someone who always primes my eyes no matter what. I just have to. It's been a habit for years, and it's just something that I have rather oily eyelids, so it helps my eyeshadow last all day, and that's what I want. When I take the time to do my eyeshadow, I want it to look good all day. My tried and true holy grail that I use pretty much 9 times out of 10, unless I'm just trying to get more use out of the plethora of other types of eyeshadow primers that I have in my drawer. I love the Behind the Scenes Eyeshadow Primer from LORAC Cosmetics. I feel like I've heard so many people kind of dog on this and just say it doesn't do anything. And I know it doesn't do anything like concealing, but this primer does so much for helping your eyeshadows last. Helping if you have like hooded eyes. I don't get any creasing with this primer. I only put on about that much. I feel like that might even be a touch too much. Oh no, that should be good. So I take that much, do it between the 2 eyes, and then I just focus it on my eyelid, but mainly in my crease. And this just, like I said, it doesn't do any color-wise, and I totally will agree with that, but it does so much in helping your eyeshadows last all day long and not settle into the fine lines or creasings of your eyes. And it's a step that even if I don't use the LORAC one, I have to use a eyeshadow primer, and my preference is these types that don't give any kind of cancellation. Another good one is the Smashbox 24 Hours Photo Finish, and if you're wanting a drugstore recommendation, I really like the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. I feel like these two are very comparable, but this one's, I feel like maybe I'm just biased. I probably am because this is my first tried and true love, but if I ever get any kind of fading or creasing on an eyeshadow, I always hold out judgment until I've tried it with this one, because usually if I prep with this one, it doesn't get any creasing. Like this can really solve everything except like the really bad eyeshadow palette. So yeah, that is something I always do without fail. Those are my 3 favorites. My highest recommendation, my holy grail, my favorite I've been using since I was probably 18 or so, and that's almost 10 years, is the LORAC Behind the Scenes Eyeshadow Primer. Okay, next up would be my cancellation method, and I have been stuck on one product pretty much the whole year. I forget when I first tried it, but it's been a long time. I have repurchased at least one of the little ones. Like I originally purchased a little one of this. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. And then I might have purchased one more and was finally like, why don't I just buy the supersizer? So this is the supersizer. It's $10, I think, for this. And it comes with, how much does it come with? 0.45 ounces, 13 grams, and I'm about out of this. So I use this, no joke, I use this one and basically this one alone every single day. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I have the Tarte Shape Tape in here, but I feel like it dries a little too much. And then I have this Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas and Halo, the white, but I don't like how that blends out. I feel like it looks very patchy and weird, so I'm not a fan of it. So I basically use this every single day, and I just put some on my lid. Just swipe it on like that, and then I'll take usually a concealer brush, like a big kabuki type brush, kind of like this Sigma, what is it called? Oh wait, that's the other Sigma Practic. Sigma F79, that's my favorite type of brush to use for my under eyes, and I'll just use that for my eyeballs. But I also really like this Smashbox Cream Cheek brush, just because it's a little bit smaller than that, kind of is more pointy and gets the job done quicker. But I've actually been using this even more frequently. I have a first impressions on this. It's Milani brush that came in a set over the holidays, and I like it because it's just a little bit smaller. I always try to do this step right before I go on with eyeshadow, so it only has so many seconds to dry, because I just feel like if it gets too dry, I don't know, you can have issues. I like there just to be the tiniest bit of tack to it when I go on with my first eyeshadow, and I just feel like that just works the best. And I just like how it applies. I feel like it just dries down the perfect amount. It doesn't dry down too much, but it's not too tacky and making my eyeshadow skip. So yeah, this is something that I use every single day and highly recommend. I use it for all my eye swatch videos. So yeah, I go through a lot of this. Okay, so at this point, I'll go ahead and maybe do a little speed through if this video doesn't get too long. If this video is long, then I'm going to cut this out. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just use the Midas Macchiato, was a green tea Macchiato eyeshadow palette. It's their little quad that they came out, woo, almost dropped it and dug my nail into it. They came out for the fall, but I just want to use this to create an eye look. And like I said, not going to do any kind of tutorial, but I'll just speed through it if it doesn't make the video too long. Okay, so at this point we're going to go into the next little part, and that is using a glitter glue. I always call it a glitter glue, but honestly I think that's the name of Too Faced's glitter adhesive, and I don't have that one. I don't think I've ever tried it. I do have NYX's glitter primer, and this one works pretty well, but I feel like personally what works better than the NYX one is the NBA Cosmetics Glitter Foil and Line FX. This little guy is pretty darn awesome, and I want to say it's cheaper than the NYX one. So there's that. I will have it linked down below, and I always, whenever I buy from this company, but I just had to repurchase this because I'm almost out, so I bought another bottle. And anytime I make an order from NBA Cosmetics, I use Maria, AgapeLoveGirl. She's here on YouTube. She has her own YouTube channel. I'll leave her link down below, but she has a code, so you can get 5%, 10%, 15%. You can get a discount when you place that order, so it makes this even more affordable. I want to say this little guy is like $5 around there, and it lasts forever. But anyway, yeah, this is just amazing, and I feel like I said, whenever I need to use this product, I'm trying to wait for it to come down. I just say like, okay, now I'm going to go in with a glitter primer. Every now and then I'll mention what it is, but like I said, 9 times out of 10 I use this always over the NYX glitter primer, unless I'm just kind of like, Katie, you need to use that NYX glitter primer because it's going bad, but I just prefer this one so much more. Anyway. So then what I like to do is just take a really thin brush. It is liquid, as you can see, like it's not super runny, but it is a clear liquid. And all I do is I take it and I'll just put it on a really flat brush because I feel like a flat brush helps get the cut crease action going. And then I'll just put a little on it and I apply it, and I apply it like not liberally, like it's like dripping down my eye, but I apply a good bit of it. And using it this way, especially if I'm using, like if I'm using a color that I really want to pop or really want to make sure it doesn't muddy with the other colors I got going, I'll use a concealer base to kind of get rid of the color. Or I've heard other people say that they'll like use like a makeup remover wipe to remove the color. But I feel like because this is so liquidy, it kind of takes the color off. As you can kind of see, it's taking off the concealer I had down. So I feel like this does that job for me most of the time. But yeah, I'll just cut it like I would with concealer. And I use this anytime I use a metallic formula that likes to transfer up into my crease. Anytime I use a glitter formula. Today, I'm just going to use the shimmer in here. And honestly, Midas Cosmetics shimmers don't really need it. Unless, I'm going to use it today just as a demo. But I feel like they stay put by themselves pretty darn well. But I want to show you guys. So yeah, I just do that. And then I give it some time to dry, and usually by some time I just kind of give it to the time it'll take me to do this side, because when you apply it, it feels like water on your eyelid, so you don't want to go in too fast because then I feel like it's just gonna make the eyeshadow look a little weird because it's so watery. So I wait till it dries down a bit and has more of a tacky feel to it. And like you saw me do, just like when I have a concealer down, I'll just tap out the edges just so there's no harsh line of where that glitter primer ends. So I don't know if you can see, but this one is super glossy. This one is kind of toning it down, turning a little matte. That's the perfect time. And I try to keep my eyes down for this part so I don't like get things all over the place, but I just grab my brush and then I just go on and apply this. If it's a super soft formula or if it's a super foiled formula, I might wet it just to help with the fallout and so it sticks. Like I might spray my brush after I dip it in, but typically, majority of the time, I'll just go right in and place it right on top, and glitter primer really sticks it down. And like I said, I use this for, of course, when I use glitter, but any really soft metallic formula, anything I need more intensity for, anything that doesn't like to stay where I put it throughout the day, I feel like this glitter primer or glitter glue, whatever, from NBA Cosmetics just really holds on to it better than any other I've tried so far. Okay, just like that. I feel like this is kind of a boring shade to show you and not have glitter, but I'm not doing glitter right now, so I might put on something. I feel like it's a little super neutral for me. But anyway, right now, I just wanted to use this little quad one more time and try out all the different shades in it. So I'm going to try and just stick with this. Maybe I'll do some glitter in my crease for the video I have planned later today. But anyway, yeah, that is all I do. But I did want to make sure I mentioned the NBA Cosmetics glitter foil and line FX because this stuff is awesome and I feel like I don't always mention it, but I literally use it nine times out of 10. If I need a glitter glue, I'm reaching for this guy. And yeah, you saw me. This thing is basically empty, so I'm glad I already have backup ready to go. I just ordered it like last month. Okay, at this point we will go on to the Vamp Stamp, and not gonna lie, 9 times out of 10 I will use this even though it's like dirty. It's a silicone rubbery type of applicator on either end, so I find that I do need to clean it, and you just use a makeup remover or eye makeup remover on it every couple times, but I don't feel like I have to clean it every time because it still does the job just fine. Just the more you have on there, the not as clean and crisp of a line you'll get. But you know, just gonna keep it real. I don't wash it every time, but do as I say and not as I do, and clean it after you use it, and it'll perform beautifully every time. But anyway, I love the Vamp Stamp, and I actually was just watching my favorites video preparing for filming my best of 2019 makeup favorites, and I think I tried this in February or January. It was towards the beginning of the year, and I use this literally almost every day. Every now and then I'll have a weird day where I just do a little, like a tiny wing, or just try to do it on my own, but Kind of like with a lot of these products, 9 times out of 10 when I have wings on, which is basically almost every day, I'm using the Vamp Stamp to get it, and I do really enjoy using their Vink. It's like their liquid product, or liquid gel liner, not gel, liquid liner to go on it, just because it has that mesh at the bottom and makes it so easy just to tap it in. I don't use this for my whole eye, as you're going to find out, but I do use it for applying the stamp. And I had a couple people comment on my video, products made just for social media, saying that they thought the Vamp Stamp was one of those products, but I don't think this is a gimmick. This has saved me so much time. Like, it used to take 5-10 minutes to do a wing liner, and especially if I wanted a big one, and then trying to get them to look symmetrical, I would always struggle. This, I mean, you're still going to struggle a little bit to get them symmetrical, because doing the stamp doesn't solve that for you. You still have to kind of figure out the angle you want, but it's just so much faster and quicker. So anyway, I want to demo this real quick. All I do is each side has the, oh, you can't even see back there, but each side has a R and an L, right, left. This is in the style Vinks, or Vixen, Vixen medium. This is my favorite one. They have a bunch of different sizes, but I feel like all their other ones kind of curve upward, and I just like the really straight, hard lines. So this is the only one I have. This is the only one I feel like I need, but I just want to throw that out there. If you like buy a different size and don't like it, maybe it's because it's not this one. I feel like this one is just the perfect one. I like how nice and sharp it is. So anyway, so all I do, like I said, is I dip it in and just make sure I got a nice coating of the product. I'll sometimes dip it in, but then kind of go back and forth on the sponge so I don't have too much. And then I just line it up with right here, and I kind of line up where I have, you have to figure out for your own eyes what works, and I kind of know, so I just line that up with the line that I typically follow and stamp, just like that. I do a softer stamp if I'm wanting a smaller wing. If I'm wanting a bigger wing, oops, sorry, that day, I'll stamp harder because I'll get a longer, more fuller line. And now, so this is the hard part where you're trying to make it get the same angle. And like I said, this Vamp Stamp doesn't solve this problem. Oops.
I won't fit on me.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk and try to line it up. But I feel like I get a lot more symmetrical more days than not than I ever did before I had the Vamp Stamp. So that's all I use the Vamp Stamp for. I stamp them down, both of them, you know, both on one on each eye, and then I'll take whatever liquid liner I'm using for the month. I tend to go back and forth. My favorite is the NYX matte one and the Essence one, but I just try to change it up.
Come on.
This is the It Cosmetics Superhero Liner, and then I just use this to line my eye, but stamping down this just makes it so easy to bring it back and connect everything. Okay, so here's what we got so far, and at this point I just kind of look straight on in my mirror and try to figure out what I need to tweak to make them more symmetrical, because this one is going up more, this one's coming straight out. Always the story of my life, but I feel like for the most part, if I'm looking at you straight on, it's not that bad. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect every day, but usually I'll just kind of like play with down here to help change the direction of things. Just like that, and then I'll call it a day. But yeah, I highly recommend the Vamp Stamp. Absolutely love the Vamp Stamp, and use it, like I said, basically every day unless I'm just having an odd day. But that is all I do, literally. I feel like it's very easy. I do definitely think there is a learning curve to this, so if you get it and it doesn't work out the first couple times, don't knock it. Like, keep trying. Maybe try before you take your makeup off at night and you're not going anywhere. Just try stamping and figuring out, because like I said, while this helps so much with getting a nice sharp line and helping get the direction down and kind of give you a stencil to go off of for the rest of it, you still have to figure out what angle to go at to make them look even, for your face shape, for your eye shape, and also just kind of figure out what angle looks best for your eyes and whatnot. So that's something that it's trial and error for you to figure out. It took me a very long time. I feel like many years of doing eyeliners and, you know, winging out my eyeliner to figure out what works for my face. But yeah, I absolutely love the Vamp Stamp and use it all the time, even though I don't always mention it. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to finish out the rest of my makeup, and then we'll come back to share with you guys my lash glue that I use and love, and is the only lash glue that I use, seriously. So anyway, I'll be right back. All right, we are nearly done. I'm just going to talk about some lashes and then nails, and we will be all done here. Lashes, so not specifically lashes. Okay, more so, like I mentioned, the lash glue. I use House of Lashes, their lash adhesive in the shade 0618, I guess. It's the black one, and one of the reasons I like this color is because it dries black. I always have a black liquid liner on, and so it's really nice and easy. I don't have to worry about the glue drying weird or, you know, waiting for it to dry and disappear and whatnot. So this is my favorite one. The only other one I've ever tried before this was the Ardell, I think it's a Duo or the Duo Lash Adhesive, but that one I think irritated my eyes because anytime I used it, my eyes would always water and then the inner corners would pop up. So I changed to this one. I forget why or who recommended this to me, but this is all I ever use, and I really don't have to worry about my eyes watering anymore. I feel like I never talk about it, but like I said, I use it every day. And then lashes, if you're curious, this is ColourLit lashes. I know the box is so very rough. Compliments of my son tearing it to pieces, but this is their style and enough, and it is my favorite lash style to use. Anytime I'm wearing them in a video, I'm always like, what lash is that? And then I look it up, I'm like, oh yeah, it's ColourLit's enough. I really like it. So anyway, that's the lash I'm going to be using today for the demo, but that's not really the only lash I wear, but it's definitely a very big favorite, like the brand in general, ColourLit. They make some solid products. So anyway, while this glue is drying, I do want to let you guys know that another product I use every single time I put on my lashes is Good Jane's Kiss My Lash. This is a lash mirror. Now they did send this to me last year, and they sent me like the stand, so if you need both your hands to apply your lashes, you might be interested in the stand, but for me personally, I basically only use the stand to house it. I just hold this in my hands when I use it. I want to say this is like $20, $25, not crazy expensive. And like I said, anytime I wear lashes, anytime I have to apply my lashes, my mirror is so dirty, I use this thing because, as you can see, it's a three-way mirror. So you can look dead on and see your eyes straight on, but then you look down and you're able to see where to place the lashes, and I find that it just makes it so easy. I also always like to use some type of lash applicator. You put it in there? Yeah. Some type of lash applicator. This one is from Tarte. I know Ulta Beauty has one for $10, so I think like half the price of Tarte's, but I like it just because it keeps my big fingers away so I'm able to see it clearly. But yeah, using this mirror, I've mentioned it in a favorites before, but like I said, anytime I wear lashes, I'm always using this mirror, so I definitely wanted to mention it in this video. But I can look straight on and I see myself in here, and then if I look down, I can see the top of my lashes where I'm going to place the lashes because of the mirror here. It reflects down, and it just makes it so very easy. If you're someone who struggles to put on lashes like me, I highly recommend this. So now I'm going to apply them. So yeah, just like that. I hope you guys are able to see and that I wasn't blocking you, but yeah, that Good Jane's mirror, I want to say you can get it on Amazon. I'll have it linked down below, but it makes it so easy, and I honestly wear lashes as frequently, I still don't wear them that frequently, but as frequently as I do because of that. Because before getting this and before having this lash glue, I could never successfully wear a pair of lashes for more than like 20 minutes before they would start popping up, or my eyes would water and they would pop up, or they would just not sit right and then I didn't like how they looked. So this way, with this mirror, I'm able to get them right against my lashes, right where I want them the first time. I don't have to fiddle with them. And then with this lash glue, it doesn't irritate my eyes at all, and it holds really well, and I never have a problem. I've heard some people say it's like a bear to get off at the end of the night. I've never noticed that personally. My eye makeup remover gets it off just fine. All right, and then just for my final one, I feel like I forget how many I told you guys at the beginning, but I feel like I forgot a couple that I've added here. So however many of these products I use every day, my final one that I wanted to make sure I mentioned were my nails. I always have them linked down below, but I rarely ever paint my nails at this point. I always use some type of press-on nails, and I've done a video. I'll have that linked up here. It is my most watched video on my channel, which is absolutely crazy. Check that video out if you want to know all the tips and tricks on how I get my press-on nails to last a long time. But for me, I wear my press-on nails at least a week. Typically, it's like a week and a half is when I change them out because they'll start popping off and then I just switch them out. But I feel like that is plenty long for me because I like to change up my nails, and at the 1 week point, I'm kind of like, okay, I'd like a new pair, please. So it works out perfectly for me. I've heard lots of people say that they get these two styles that I love personally to get them like 2-3 weeks sometimes. I've never had that happen. Typically, like I said, it's like a week and a half, 9 days or something like that. But that's plenty long for me. But anyway, I did want to mention it here very briefly at the end that my two favorite go-to, I have so many of these sitting in my backup drawer waiting to put on a fresh mani, but they are the Impress Manicure by Kiss and then the Dashing Diva Magic Press-On Nails. I absolutely love these two. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be Dashing Diva because I like how these are a little bit more firm and these are a lot more flexible and flimsy. So depending on maybe if you need them to conform more to your nail, maybe go with these. That's really the only difference that I personally see with these two, is that this is more flexible, this is a lot more firm. I tend to prefer the firm just for me personally, but depending on your nail shape, you might like one over the other. But these two are absolutely fantastic, and I actually did just discover a new brand. I've only worn them once, but I do want to mention them here because they were kind enough to send me some pairs. But this is from Clutch Nails, and this is the other style I have not yet worn. They sent me another one that I wore, and Clutch Nails doesn't have any kind of glue already on the nails like it does with the Dashing Diva or the Impress. These both already have a nail glue on the nail that you just peel a sticker off and press them on. This is just the nail, so you do have to use the glue, but I found that when I wore these, I got, I think, 10 days wear out of them before they even started to feel loose, and then they kind of started popping off within, you know, when I started to feel them loose, they popped off rather quickly, and then I just changed them out that night. But it was a solid 10 days of not even feeling the teeniest bit of looseness with these nails or any hint of them about to fall off, which I was very impressed with. So yeah, like I said, I've only worn them once. This is the second pair that I am excited to use at some point very soon, but I was very impressed with them, so I wanted to shout them out really quick because I think they are a newer brand. But yeah, I wear press-on nails every single day, and I'm not always talking about them, so that's why I did want to mention them in this video. That is going to do it for all the products that I use basically every day, but don't mention on my channel very frequently. Alright, so that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys found it informative and helpful to kind of go over the products that, like I said, I don't talk about them all that often on my channel, but I am using them so very often, and I just kind of wanted to shout them out so you guys know the products that I love and recommend and use all the time, even if I'm not always talking about them or showing you guys. But anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you guys did enjoy being able to see it in more of a demo fashion instead of me just kind of already having my makeup done and just talking about the products. I thought that'd be a little bit more informative for you guys. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below, and let me know if I missed anything. I really tried to think hard over the products that I pretty much never change up, use every day, and don't talk about often. But let me know if there's anything you're like, wait, Katie, do you still use this? You mentioned this before. Let me know down in the comments, and I will definitely let you know if I just forgot about it, or if I've stopped using it, or if I found something better, or if I'm just someone who likes to change it up so I don't use that product day in and day out. Like I said, I try to really focus on products that 9 times out of 10 when I need this product, I'm using this one product and I never change it up. So yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.